Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. My name is Justine Houle and I'm the marketing coordinator here at Reproductive Medicine Associates of Connecticut. Today I am honored to be joined by Shaunda Brown, who is our team lead of the Insurance and Billing Department. Shaunda, how are you today?
I'm great, Justine. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and for taking some time out of your day to talk to us about some of the most stressful topics that a patient going through infertility treatment can face, and that would be insurance, billing, and cost. Speaking from my own experience, I know that before my husband and I scheduled the initial consultation here, I had to have him call the insurance company because to me, it's another language and it's so confusing and I'm not a numbers person. So, we are so happy that Shaunda is going to help us flip the script so we can become our own patient advocates and so we can get rid of that worry and fear and kind of own it. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, I agree. Before we jump into the nitty-gritty, I just want to give everyone an idea of what the insurance and billing advocates do here at RMA of Connecticut. On a daily basis, they coordinate numerous IVF, IUI cycles. They also receive authorization for your consultations, for your procedures, for your medications. If those services are denied, we then go above and beyond and start the appeal process to make sure you receive your maximum coverage.
Really, I know I'm biased, but we are so lucky to have this wonderful team of women who work so hard every day for our patients. So thank you so much for all that you do. All right, so let's kind of get into it. Shaunda, to start, can you tell us a little bit about what a patient should do prior to booking an appointment at this office?
Before you book your appointment, I think it's important that all patients give their insurance a call. When you call your insurance company, it's great to note who you spoke to and the location they are at. When you're speaking to them, you should always indicate that RMA of Connecticut is a center of excellence. A center of excellence means that we have high success rates and we have very competitive pricing. You should also give the insurance company RMA of Connecticut's National Provider ID as well as our tax ID. Doing so, the insurance can let you know if we are in network with your policy before you come to our office to make sure you have coverage for the services.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Good to know. And then tell me why it's important for a patient to call their insurance company as opposed to one of our advocates calling for them.
Well, it's not opposed to because we actually both call. So it is required that the patient gives their insurance a call as well because at times when we call insurance, infertility is fairly new to the insurance company, so all the representatives are not versed in what the coverage is or the terminology, so we may receive inaccurate information. So it's best if the patient calls and verifies their coverage as well, so then we can then compare the information they receive with us and we can come to a happy median on what their coverage is.
Oh, that makes complete sense to me. Now, what about a referral? Should patients ask their insurance company if one is required to see a specialist, which is what we're considered?
Absolutely. Many insurances require that a referral is required before the patient sees our physician. It's best that the patient obtains this before they come in for their initial consultation. If you have infertility coverage and come in for the consultation without receiving your referral, the service will be denied. So it's best that they verify that with their insurance company and get that referral before they come in for their appointment.
And they get the referral from the insurance company, or do they get it from their primary care provider?
So their insurance company will tell them what primary care physician the referral should come from. The patient will then have to contact their primary care physician to complete a referral for them to come to RMA of CT.
Gotcha.
Their primary care physician can then fax that to their insurance or they can complete that service online.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Great. Now, what about coverage? Like when it comes to actual plan coverage, what questions should a patient ask the insurance company?
This is a lot. There's a lot of things that the patient should review with their insurance. Well, first things first is when you're checking if infertility is a covered service, you need clarity on if the diagnosis of infertility is covered or if the diagnosis and the treatment of infertility is covered.
So kind of like two tiers.
Exactly.
Diagnosis and then diagnosis and treatment.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're only covered for the diagnosis, that includes physician consultation, blood work, and diagnostic testing such as saline, sonos, and HSGs.
Okay.
And that's where your coverage will end. Okay. But if you have coverage for the treatment, that can also include IUI and IVF services. Now, if the insurance advises you have coverage for IUI and IVF, now you have additional questions to ask.
Oh dear.
These questions can be, is my policy subject to a lifetime maximum? Are there any age restrictions? Are there any prerequisites before I can proceed with the service? Do I have to do less before greater? And less before greater in reference to infertility is IUI and IVF. Your insurance will advise that you need to proceed with a less invasive procedure such as intrauterine insemination.
Or IUI.
Before you proceed with in-vitro fertilization, IVF. These can be some requirements as far as the cycle restrictions. They may say that they only grant you 2 cycles per lifetime, or you have $20,000 per lifetime. If they do advise that you have a dollar maximum, it is then important to ask, is your medication for that service also included in that dollar maximum?
Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
Now, what about authorizations? Like, what is that, and does it take a long time?
Well, authorization is a service that the insurance requires that the medical office reach out to the insurance provider and receives authorization for a service before treatment is rendered. It's not required for all services. Standardly, it's required for the treatment of infertility, such as IUI and IVF, and authorization can take anywhere between 5 to 15 business days, depending on the insurance company.
And does every insurance company require authorization, or is that dependent on your plan?
It depends on your plan and the insurance company.
So then we'll ask them that too.
It varies.
Now, I know you mentioned medications previously. Can you just go back over like what questions a patient should ask specifically related to medications?
Well, they should ask if medication is covered under their infertility policy. If it is covered, is it subject to their lifetime maximum if they have it, or if it's a separate benefit? And what is the specialty pharmacy that RMACT can order their medication from?
Interesting. So it's not always that we can get this medication from CVS. It sometimes has to come through a mail order?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. See, we are learning so much today. Now, this question. Are there any guarantees? Like, what I mean by that is, will I be guaranteed coverage if my insurance company tells me that RMACT is in network with my plan?
Unfortunately, we cannot guarantee coverage. The insurance and billing department are only advocates for our patients. So we will fight for the coverage as much as we can, but the verification of benefits is not a guarantee of payment. Claims are paid based on medical necessity at the time the service is rendered.
Okay. So there's no guarantee of payments. So can you give patients a definitive cost?
Absolutely. We will review the total amount billed to your insurance and the potential out-of-pocket costs due subject to your deductible, co-insurance, or out-of-pocket. So we give estimates, but we don't give a definite number. We can assume what your out-of-pocket costs will be based on your deductible, co-insurance, or out-of-pocket.
And sometimes probably that information is also dependent on what the doctor recommends for each patient too, right?
Correct.
The plan could be different. The doctor's plan could be different from one patient to the next.
And 90% of the time it is.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about patients who have coverage, but what about those patients out there that don't have any coverage? What can we tell them?
Well, if you have no coverage, it's no problem at RMACT. We do offer competitive, affordable pricing. Our initial patient consultation will be $200. And if you do not have infertility coverage, we do offer opportunity plans here, which are bundled discounted packages for our patients without insurance coverage.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, what if someone is looking to obtain insurance? What can we tell them, or what plan could we recommend for them to guarantee that they have infertility coverage?
Unfortunately, we can't really recommend a plan. We can give questions to help the patient decide which policy is best for them. Based on the treatment recommended by the physician, the patient will then call the insurance and say, this is my medical history, this is the treatment plan suggested, what policy do you think best fits my plan?
Great, and then the insurance company should be able to guide them.
Exactly, yes.
That's great. Who knew? Now, I know there's a lot of buzz around the Connecticut mandate. Can you speak to that a little bit? Like, what is it and what does that mean for our patients?
Absolutely. The Connecticut state mandate is a fertility mandate specifically for Connecticut. Great news is that they recently removed their age maximum. It used to be that patients had to be 40 years or younger to receive coverage, but now there's no longer an age maximum. So
great.
Everyone has access to this coverage. The coverage includes 4 cycles of ovulation induction, 3 cycles of intrauterine insemination, and 2 cycles of in-vitro fertilization. It standardly excludes cryopreservation.
Okay, and this may be a silly question, but the Connecticut mandate is obviously only for people that live in Connecticut?
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to verify that one. I'd love to touch on in vitro fertilization for a few moments, if that's okay with everyone. I know Fertility IQ recently conducted a study in which only 28% of the participants had 76 to 100% of their treatment costs covered by insurance, while 56% had zero coverage, and the remaining participants only had partial coverage. Now, when it comes to planning and paying for IVF, do you have any suggestions that we can pass along to our patients?
Absolutely. We work closely with 2 companies. One of them is Attain. Attain offers multi-cycle refund plans. Acceptance into this program is based on your medical criteria. If you're accepted, they do offer refunds for up to 50 to 100% if a live birth does not occur, but that's standardly not the case. And we are also affiliated with the Lending Club. Approval is based on credit score. You apply directly with the Lending Club. If you're approved for a loan, they will send the finances directly to your insurance and billing advocate. We will use that for your cycle. If there is a remaining balance, we'll send it directly back to the Lending Club.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Before we kind of conclude for the day, is there anything else that you would like to share with a potential patient? Any other information they should know about their insurance, their costs, benefits, anything like that?
Absolutely. Standardly, genetic testing is excluded from insurance. RMA works closely with Counsel Genetics. If you don't have coverage for this service, Counsel offers a self-pay price package for $350, and that covers genetic testing for cystic fibrosis, Fragile X, and numerous other genetic conditions. RMA is also affiliated with a LabCorp for our patients who do not have insurance coverage. They offer discounted pricing for our diagnostic testing.
And LabCorp, just for those of you who aren't aware, they would draw the blood work.
Yes.
The diagnostic blood work.
Correct. So that's another option. I just want patients to know that if you do not have insurance coverage, don't fret. We are here to help. There's many options, and just know that we are definitely your advocate. If something does not seem right, we will definitely fight for you and go to the bat for you as if it is ourselves, because we know this is a very sensitive and meaningful service, and we're just here to help.
And I'm just going to coattail on Shaunda a little bit, is we absolutely want to help every single person that comes through our door create their dreams or have their dreams come true. So it's a great place to be.
Absolutely. But if any patients have questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can send us your insurance information in advance, and we can check on your coverage and get you started on the process and help you understand what your insurance really is.
Oh, that's fantastic. Shaunda, thank you so much for all of this helpful information and for taking time to join us today. And thank you to our amazing viewers. We hope that you found this segment helpful and informative. Like Shaunda said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to visit our website at rmact.com or feel free to call 203-956-2265, and that's the new patient liaison line. So for any new patient inquiries, they will be able to help you, or at least pass you along to somebody who can help answer a question that they might not know the answer to. And we hope you'll join us for the following 2 segments, one about IVF and the other about LGBTQ family planning. Stay tuned for those dates and have a wonderful afternoon.